Hi, Evan. It's me, Evan. So, excuse me. Uh, allergies, seasonal allergies, and a little bit of tears. I did cry a little bit this morning for my love. Um, I said I would check in again today because yesterday I believe I posted my video, and in it I said I had prayed the night before not to wake up. And then I ended up waking up and I made the video. Um, I did not pray last night before I went to bed to not wake up. I just went to bed. I still feel irritated about her passing. Um, this really sweet lady on Instagram asked me some questions. I did a video and she asked me some questions and I answered her, and I think I may have been a little too aggressive with my argument to stay in my grief. I don't want to stay in my grief, but I feel like I'm arguing with the universe to stay in my grief and sit in it. I'm still angry. I'm angry she's not here anymore. I mean, I know she's here. When I say she's not here anymore, I mean her physicality. I don't mean her spiritual being or her energetic being. I know her energy is here. I know my dad is here. I know my guides are here. Everyone that agreed to be with me on this trip to Earth is here. So when I say that she's not here, I'm referring to the physicality of her. I'm mad about it. And I'm going to explain quickly. I don't know if I've expressed this or said this, or I don't know at this point. I try to go back and watch my videos so that I don't end up just like repeating myself and over in this saying the same thing in different videos. And I may, because I talk a lot about grief, and I do talk about the fact that I'm also a trans man and how that has been my experience with that, and my experience with grief as a trans man. Because, like I've mentioned before, like the process of grief for me, when I was a woman, and the process of grief I've been going and experiencing now as a man has been quite different in some aspects. But I'm gonna just express again one of the things. Actually, there's three things that occurred. One while she is alive. One occurred because of us meeting. And now I can't remember the third one, so it must not be that important. Oh, yes, and the third occurred. The third occurred before I met her. So the first thing was, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and forgive me, y'all forgive me if I, speaking to everybody hanging around spiritually, forgive me if I make this mistake and miscalculate the time frame of this, but if I'm not mistaken, I remember speaking to her on the phone, and I want to say it was the day before she passed, and I had this really weird feeling. I didn't like the feeling. It was an eerie feeling. I could have said something to her about it, but I didn't, because I don't know if I've mentioned this either. I had a vision. I had a energetic, psychic vision of her before I met her. I saw her energy. Like, I have the ability sometimes to like see the energetic outprints of an object, kind of like they say, like they say that if you're in a room and there's light in the room like it is now, and you turn off the lights and it becomes immensely dark so you can't see, you for a minute for a short minute, you will still see like the shadowy outlines of the objects in the room, or you can put your hand in front of your face and still kind of see your hand in your face for a little bit before it gets completely dark, before your body processes the fact that there's no light to refract for you to be able to see anything. Because what I've also learned, and I believe this, is somebody mentioned in a video that these things, these eyeballs that we have, are really just gelatinous cubes that refract light and allow us to see things that are vibrating from a certain standpoint. So everything in our world has a vibrational standpoint, or a vibrational essence, whatever you want to call it, a certain frequency. So when I close my eyes, if I meditate and really allow myself to open up, when I close my eyes, I see energetic I see energetic outprints, like I see the outlines of things, and it's like an energy that's moving. So I had a vision of her before I met her, after we met, and I told her that, and we were like, both of us were like, whoa, because we pretty much had the same spiritual beliefs and whatnot. And then we were just like, wow, it's amazing. But then one day I had a meditation session, and I kind of drifted into a sleep, like a very light sleep almost. Like when you're very aware of what's going on around you, you can hear everything that's going on around you, but you're still kind of in this like sleepish mode. And I saw her die. And I knew exactly what I saw. There was no question what I saw. I saw someone come and like shock her in the heart space, and then she went with them. It was like her response was like one of shock, surprise, shock, fear, and then it succumbed to, oh, I'm free. And then she took off, and that's how I knew. I was like, she's gonna die. And I never told her, because what do you don't say that to somebody. And I told my medium that I work with, I never told her, and she said, that's what you do, you don't tell people that. She's like, I've had that before. My medium's told me she's had that experience where she's seen things come to pass that weren't great, and sometimes it involved people, and she's like, you don't tell them, it's rude. You just don't tell them, because you are interrupting their karma Dharma wheel. You're interrupting their flow, their path, by giving that information to them. So I had to sit with that and know that eventually that would come to pass, and it would come to pass sooner than I wanted it to, and it did. So the day before she passed, I remember specifically asking her if I would see her again. And she said, of course. And I did see her again, in a box, in a coffin. I didn't like that. Second thing, I've been told by a medium and my heart healer and her son, who's an indigo child. He meditates a lot. He said she came to him in a meditation, and what he told me is exactly what all the other spiritual people I've worked with said, almost exactly word for word. I turned her Dharma wheel. I completed her Dharma wheel for her life on this earth by meeting her and letting her experience joy and unconditional love in an intimate relationship with somebody. And once that box got checked, it was time for her to go. So apparently that's what happened. For me, that is a very bittersweet thing to hear. I'm happy I brought her those two emotions, and probably other slew of emotions that brought her joy. But also to know that was also my hand in her having to leave here. I don't like that either. That doesn't feel good either. Third thing, And I mentioned this in my video the other day I put on Instagram. Uh, she was heavily abused by, I believe, two of her partners, previous partners before me, and I think both of them she was married to. I know one she was specifically one she was married to. But apparently, the trauma that she received from the last time it happened, and when I say abusive, I mean physically, probably in other ways as well. I'm not sure. She didn't talk about it. I didn't ask her about it. It wasn't my business unless she wanted to tell me about it. I wasn't going to force this discussion with her. Um, and the reason I didn't do that is I think it was like maybe the second or third time we had been intimate with each other, and I'm sure that if anyone's old enough to have been intimate with each other, like in love, intimate and in love, not just having sex with somebody, but when you're actually in love and feeling something for that person and they feel the same way, you have, and the first couple of times you have sex, you kind of like lay there in this bask of like, oh wow, and you kind of like, that's when you kind of like really look at the person because they're next to you and they're fully naked, you're naked, um, and that's when you're kind of like discovering them and their body. So usually that's when I would think most of your most intimate and open discussions probably happen is during times of intimacy. Um, and I'm sure there's all different types of forms of intimacy as well, not just sexual intimacy. But specifically for me, that's when after I've had sex with somebody and I'm having feelings for them and I've had feelings for them or we both are feeling the same way. That's when I usually kind of check out their body. And she had this mark under her neck, and to me it looked like a scar, and I was like, huh. And I didn't ask the first time I saw it. I think I just instinctively knew not to ask. And then I think it was the second time around or something, I remember it being there, and I ran my hand across her cheek, and I ran it down to where that spot was, and it looked like kind of looked almost like a puncture wound in a way, is the only best way I could describe it. And I asked her what happened, and she's like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, "Right there." And she looked at me with this look, and I'll never forget it. And I can't, for the life of me, do the look because I'm not her. But it was this very lovingly but slightly stern look, and she just said, "You don't need to worry about that." And I was like, okay. And I knew never to ask again. And so I never did. I didn't find out until after she passed what had happened. Her son told me because her son witnessed it and was there when it happened. And the only part of the reason that she survived was her son, and he was, I believe, 4 at the time, jumped on top of this dude and tried his own little self to beat the crap out of this guy that was beating the crap out of his mother. This guy stabbed her and beat her to the point where she almost died and was obviously hospitalized. She had facial surgery. I didn't realize it until he explained the entire story to me. I only got so far before I had to tell him to stop, because I had heard enough. And I'm really mad that I only got the amount of time I got with her, which was not very long. And these assholes that did the things they did to her spent years with her and treated her like that. It angers me. It angers me. It insults my soul, because we are twin flames and we're of the same vibration. She is I and I am her. So it insults me. It angers me. I'm angry. I'm very angry. and I didn't get more time with her. I'm trying to figure out how to let go of it. Right now, I'm firmly holding on to it. Pretty fucking hard, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'll squeeze it so hard it'll shoot out either end of my hand and I'll let it go. I don't know. But for now, I'm here. So I said I would check in. I guess check in. I don't know if it's checking in per se, but I'm here. I woke up and I'm here and I'm ready to face the day, experience the day. I don't know if face the day is a real positive way to look at it. I guess I'm ready to accept and learn anything that the day has to bring me today. Whether it's learning about myself, learning about other people, going with the flow. I'd really like to just go with the flow today and have a nice, pleasant day. A nice, pleasant, easy peasy, lovely day. I'm gonna go. I've been talking for far too long, if you ask me. I hope all of y'all have an easy peasy day today, and it's wonderful. I'm in the northern hemisphere in America, so we're getting ready to hit Christmas. So anybody watching this who celebrates Christmas, Merry Christmas to you. I hope you have a safe and wonderful holiday. I'm gonna get off this thing and go about my day. Alright, I love you, Evan. I love everybody that's watching. Take care of yourselves. Stay true to yourselves. Be yourself. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.